What's up, family? As always, we just here to have authentic conversation as I let off my thoughts, comments, and perspective. And you guys let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comments below. And if you get some value from this video, make sure you get this video a big thumbs up. Now, listen, man, I got to be honest with you. People are up in arms because of some of the things Charleston White said about Angel Reese. And he questioned um, what she really wants to do with her career because we all know that it was just a few days removed from Charleston White, the comedian, dropping a bombshell in the Club 520 podcast, absolutely torching the WNBA, and especially calling out Angel Reese and Brittany Grinder, and he held nothing back. And of course, you can imagine people lost their minds over it. But when you really think about it, he questioned what she really want to do with her career based on her actions, as you guys can see displayed on the screen, right? And it's hard not to ask that question because this isn't the first time she stirred the pot. And I mean, after LSU's big win when she was in college facing Caitlin Clark, we all remember that the emotional speech about not wanting to be sexualized, and she cried and made a whole scene in regards to how people view her like some sort of sex symbol, right? But then what's the first thing she do after that? She goes on her podcast talking about how people are treating her like she's some object. And but hey, no one forced her to post videos like this, right? Now, mind you, I'll show you guys a video and play it, but I will not um, permit the audio due to copyright purposes. But I mean, seriously, just last night, going into the new year, as you guys can see in the post, Angel Reese is going viral for the way she was dressed for the New Year's Eve 2025. She basically posts a video on social media practically wearing nothing. And you know what's even crazier is because the comment section wasn't actually flooded with supporters. Um, there were there were a few diehard fans, and they were a lot of folks calling her out and saying, "Hey, aren't you the one who doesn't want to be sexualized?" Right? So you can't ignore the hypocrisy because at the end of the day, words have meanings, and you have to be aware of what you say. So first, she tells us not to sexualize her, and then she posts these videos where it's pretty clear she's fully aware of what she's doing. And let's be real. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of skin showing. She's grown and she knows what she's doing. At the end of the day, she's not a child. And you being a public figure and the very visibility that you have to be responsible with it. And it's hard to believe she's genuinely concerned about being objectified, but she's playing this game of saying one thing. It's like a dirty politician, but instead it's a dirty WNBA player who's not even focused on the game of basketball. She's just playing this all right. And in this case, I feel as though whoever is advising her to do this, clearly it has to be some type of marketing tactic to bring attention because we all know that she's doing this for attention at this point because you would have stand on the moral ground of you saying you don't want to be sexualized in the first place. What's the end goal here, Angel? I have no clue, but that's for her to figure out because to be honest, this is just foolish, and it's hard to argue Charleston White's take at this point. But look at the video because I want to show you guys basically her prancing around and thinking, she's a stuff when she's, her own demise when it comes to her own hypocrisy, right? And I will, like I said, mute the audio. But you guys get the gist of it, right? So you don't want to play basketball. And that's why I put in a banner that she's for the streets because she might as well just focus on OnlyFans, as Charleston White has said on his take on the 520 podcast. And with every video like this, it's hard not to wonder if he's right. But you know what? That's fine if she wants to take that route. And there's no shame in doing her thing and capitalizing and making her bag if that's how she want to make her money. But don't stand on the fence and straddle the fence and being a chameleon and saying one thing and doing another thing and basically trying to appease to people because at the end of the day, what do you stand for at this point and why should people look up to you as a figure when you don't even know what you're doing or what you stand for because you have been called out due to your hypocrisy and we see how a liar you are because the receipts have shown over and over again. That's why Charleston White said what he said. But then you turn around and post videos like this, straddle on the fence, and that's where the problem is because you didn't want to be sexualized. So the backlash is real, and people are noticing some of her biggest fans are now starting to speak out. And if you look down in the comments below, you'll see individuals saying, "Don't sexualize me," quote unquote. You know, um, someone show me Caitlin Clark. I want to see something. Some people condoning it, and some people just like, didn't you say don't sexualize me? Is my point. So there go the diehard fans supporting this ignorance, and there's individuals holding her accountable. But this is what Charleston White said, and that's why he said Charleston White is right. It proves my point, right? And the point.
Think it's stupid, but Tony's a better player.
I think Reese want to sell pussy. Yeah, I think Angel Reese really don't want to play basketball. I think she want to sell pussy.
Nah,
she trying to look, Chuck.
She come out too sexual.
See, she comes off too sexual. That's what Charleston White said. So then we go down, and people are saying nobody sexualize her, please. And then some people are saying we were all young once. Laugh out loud. She really is beautiful though. It would have been a 10 had it covered more. Wasn't she saying, she just saying people sexualize her too much? And then some people are saying, why though? So look, you get it. Per usual, she's half naked, but don't sexualize her. If we all start ignoring this type of content, it will die, right? So, I seen in the comments of people saying they used to support her, but this is just too much. And when you start losing fans, you know something's off. And if it's one thing to have confidence, but then there's a fine line between confidence and hypocrisy. And right now, Angela Reese is basically straddling on the fence and dancing on the line, right? And let's be clear, I'm all for supporting women in sports. I wish nothing but the best for Angel Reese to succeed and prosper. But if you're going to keep pushing this basketball as my focus narrative, then we need to see the results. And when the WNBA season starts, all eyes will be on her. And if she's still struggling with basic shots, like missing backboard layups, you better believe fans will start calling her out for it. And it's hard to defend someone who is not living up to the expectations on the court, but is constantly in the spotlight for every other reason. You know what I'm saying? Being a drama queen like the rest of the other blind sheep in the WNBA, and that's why they have been sinking. She is basically the model of why the WNBA cannot be profitable, and it basically hasn't got visibility in the last 25 years until Caitlin Clark came along, is my point, right? You see both sides. You see why the WNBA is changing now for the better, and you see why it hasn't based on the Angel Reese side of this thing, of the hypocrisy and these drama queens and these narratives they like to spew instead of focusing on their game. And they can be good, but they're not great. So look, I'm not here to, destroy anybody or, put anybody down. But if you're in the spotlight, especially as a professional athlete, you need to be held accountable. And it's not just about what you post on social media. It's just how you show up on the court, proving your dedication to basketball, the craft in this case, and, also being the professionalism, how you conduct yourself. You have young ladies who hope to play basketball or be in the league of the WNBA, playing with the most elites and have dreams of it. And she can be a role model, and this can be very dangerous, right? And if she's not putting in the work on her game in basketball, in which they looking at her for what they know her for, it won't be long before people stop buying into the whole I'm here for the game, persona or facade, right? At the end of the day, we want to see the best form of athletes like Angel Reese, and it's up to her ultimately to focus more on personal branding than basketball. And it's going to be hard for fans to stay loyal with the performance on the court if it doesn't match up. So at the end of the day, she can post what she wants and do what she want to do when she want to do it. Obviously, that's what she's doing, being hypocritical at it. But don't expect people to forget the bigger picture in which the whole persona that you have basically put on, or the whole act that you put on. And at the end of the day, when it comes to being sexualized, it's not a game. There's not nothing to play with in regards to that narrative. And this is why for the most part, women need to be saved for themselves, because they'll say something, and at the end of the day, it's just out of emotional and not being logical, and not being logical, not being logical, but also not being accountable, and also understanding what you say has meaning. And if you want people to take you serious, then make sure you are meaningful. And at the end of the day, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. However, spread that peace, love, and positivity. Let the love supersede the hate. And peace, family.